Have you ever found yourself walking through the grocery store, enjoying a casual afternoon, when suddenly you feel that unwelcome, frustrating little leak? Maybe you try to hide it with a laugh or pretend nothing happened, but deep down, there's that sinking question, why is this happening to me? If you're over 60 and you've experienced bladder leaks, please know you are not alone. And more importantly, this is not just some unavoidable part of getting older. Here at Elderly Active Living, we talk about real issues that affect women like you every day. And today, we're shining a light on one of the most quietly damaging challenges facing older women: urinary incontinence. This isn't just about wet underwear or rushing to the restroom. This is about something much deeper: dignity, confidence, and living without fear. Too many women have been silently dealing with this, feeling ashamed, avoiding social events, or even skipping vacations and dinners because they're scared they won't make it to the bathroom in time. And here's the kicker: this problem doesn't always come from illness. It often stems from small, daily habits that we don't even realize are affecting our bladder health. In fact, doctors have identified 9 everyday habits that could be making your bladder leaks worse. Yep, 10. But here's the good news. For many women, just changing 1 or 2 of these can make a world of difference. Think about that. What if a simple shift in your routine could mean fewer accidents, more peace of mind, and more freedom to do what you love? Now, let me be clear, we're not about judgment here. We're about understanding, compassion, and practical, no-nonsense advice, because it doesn't have to be this way. You deserve to feel strong, secure, and empowered in your body. That's why, in this video, we're going to walk you through each of these 10 habits. You might be doing some of them right now without even realizing it. We'll not only break down what these habits are, but also why they impact your bladder, and most importantly, what you can start doing differently today. It's time to take the shame out of this conversation. It's time to talk about bladder health as part of whole person health, and it's time to start making changes that actually work. So, if you've ever felt a sudden urgency and didn't make it in time, avoided laughing too hard or sneezing because of fear, or planned your day around restroom locations, then this is your video. This is your moment. Grab a cup of tea, sit somewhere comfortable, and join me. Comment below with "I'm here" if you relate to any of this, because we want to show each other that none of us are in this alone. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to Elderly Active Living, where we talk about the stuff nobody else does, but everybody needs to hear. Let's begin with the very first habit in the next part of our series. You won't believe how common it is and how easy it is to change. Because small habits lead to big transformations. And that starts today. Part 1. Not drinking enough water due to fear of leakage. Have you ever held back from drinking water just because you were afraid of leaking? It's more common than you think, especially for older adults. The logic seems simple. Drink less, visit the bathroom less. But here's the surprising truth. Not drinking enough water might actually make things worse. When your body is mildly dehydrated, your kidneys still have a job to do. Without enough fluid, your urine becomes darker, more acidic. And for your bladder, that's like being poked by tiny thorns. It reacts, it burns, it creates urgency. One dear friend, Susan, stopped carrying water on walks because she feared not making it home in time. But instead of solving the problem, it created more discomfort. Her doctor explained her bladder was just too dry. So what's the solution? Not big gulps or giant bottles, just gentle, consistent sips throughout the day. Like watering a plant, small amounts, given with care. Keep a small cup nearby. Every hour or so, take a sip. Not a glass, not a gulp, just a moment of kindness to your body. And in the evening, ease up. Let your bladder rest. Try it for 1 week. You might notice fewer urges, less burning, and more confidence. Hydration isn't your enemy, it's your quiet ally. And your body, no matter your age, still deserves gentle care and steady love. Part 2. Drinking too much caffeine. Let's talk about caffeine. That warm cup of coffee in the morning, a glass of iced tea with lunch, maybe a cola while watching the evening news. For many of us, caffeine is part of the rhythm of our day. It feels familiar, comforting. But when it comes to bladder health especially, as we get older, caffeine may not be as innocent as it seems. You see, caffeine is a diuretic. It tells your body to release more water fast. That means more urine, more urgency, more trips to the bathroom. But it's also a bladder stimulant, which can irritate the bladder lining, making it more sensitive and reactive, even when it's not full. Real-life example, you drink coffee, and suddenly the urge hits not a gentle nudge, but a shout. You barely have time to move, and sometimes accidents happen. This isn't just aging. Often, it's over-caffeination. Take Gloria, retired teacher. She loved her French roast. 3 cups every morning, plus a sweet tea at night. She couldn't understand why she felt like she had to pee all day. But when she cut back to 1 cup and switched to herbal tea, things changed. Less urgency, fewer trips, and more freedom. You don't have to throw out your coffee maker. Just start small. Try 1 cup a day, make it count, savor it. Then, explore herbal tea, chamomile, peppermint, rooibos. They're caffeine-free and kind to your body. As for sodas, especially diet sodas, they're a double hit. Caffeine and artificial sweeteners. Both irritate the bladder. Try switching to flavored water or a splash of lemon in plain water. Simple change. Big difference. This isn't about giving things up. It's about awareness. Because sometimes the answer isn't a new medication. It's a new habit. You're not too old to make a change. You're not too stuck in your ways. And your body is more adaptable than you think. Start small. 1 less cup, 1 smart swap. And maybe, just maybe, you'll stop tiptoeing around your bladder. You'll be back in control. Part 3. Poor sitting posture. Bladder health isn't just about what you drink, it's also about how you sit. Meet Joe, a 72-year-old Vietnam vet who loves lounging in his recliner. He told me, "Doc, I use the bathroom, and 10 minutes later, I gotta go again." After reviewing his daily routine, the issue became clear: his posture. Slouching in soft chairs or hunching at the table causes pressure on the bladder while weakening the pelvic floor, the muscle group that supports our bladder and core. When these muscles are disengaged, the bladder becomes more reactive, causing urgency, leaks, or incomplete emptying. Think of your pelvic floor like a hammock. If the hammock sags, it can't do its job. And the fix? It's simple. Start with sitting smarter. Keep your feet flat. Sit with your back upright and supported. Engage your core slightly by pulling your belly in. Avoid sitting too long. Stand and move every 30-45 minutes. Even 1 minute of walking or stretching can reset your posture and awaken deep muscles that support bladder function. And don't forget the toilet posture. Many lean forward trying to rush things, but that creates more pressure on the bladder and pelvic floor. Instead, sit upright. Relax your belly. Let gravity help. Use a small footstool to elevate your feet. This simulates a more natural position and makes things easier. These small adjustments may seem minor, but they add up, especially as we age. Good posture isn't about looking good, it's about helping the body work as it should, without unnecessary strain. Joe started sitting straighter and took regular movement breaks. Within 2 weeks, he noticed fewer sudden urges and more control. No more surprise sprints, he laughed. So here's your gentle reminder. Start noticing your posture today. Are your feet grounded? Is your back supported? Are you giving your core a role to play? With just a little awareness and small, consistent changes, you can support your bladder and your overall well-being every single day. Part 4. Ignoring the pelvic floor, the silent muscle that matters most. There's a hidden muscle in your body that could be the key to restoring your confidence as you age, the pelvic floor. This group of muscles forms a supportive sling at the base of your pelvis. It holds your bladder, bowel, and, for women, uterus in place, while also helping maintain posture. But as we age, especially after childbirth or menopause for women, this muscle can weaken, leading to leaks, urgency, and loss of control. The good news? It's fixable. Enter Kegel exercise simple muscle squeezes that strengthen the pelvic floor. You don't need equipment or gym time. You can do them while watching TV, sitting in your chair, or even at a red light. Here's how. 1. Tighten the muscles you'd use to stop urine midstream. 2. Hold for 3-5 seconds, then relax for 5-10 seconds. 3. Repeat 10 times. That's 1 set. Start with 1 set a day and build up to 3. But here's the trick. Avoid tensing your abs, legs, or glutes. Focus only on that deep internal muscle. Done right, Kegels can reduce leaks, calm urgency, and even support better posture and intimacy for both men and women. Take Earl, 68, who once joked, "Now I can sneeze without saying a prayer." After 2 months of Kegels, he regained control and confidence. For best results, tie Kegels to a daily habit like brushing your teeth or during TV ads. That's how this 5-minute ritual becomes second nature. Think of Kegels like brushing your teeth. Small daily effort, long-term protection. You might not notice results overnight, but over time, you'll feel more in control of your body and your life. So here's the question. If there were a quiet, invisible habit that could help you feel secure, empowered, and confident again, would you do it? Your answer could change everything. And your pelvic floor? It's ready to work with you, not against you. Part 5. Avoiding movement and how it silently weakens your bladder. Many people believe aging means slowing down completely. We hear phrases like, "take it easy," or "don't overdo it," and start equating rest with safety. But the truth is, too much rest can silently chip away at our strength and even our bladder control. You see, your bladder doesn't function alone. It relies on a network of muscles: the pelvic floor, core, hips, legs, and back. When these muscles weaken from inactivity, bladder signals become confused. Leaks, urgency, and unpredictability follow. That's exactly what happened to Donna, 74. During the pandemic, she stopped her daily walks. Slowly, she felt disconnected from her body and lost the control she once had. She thought it was aging, but it was really prolonged stillness. The solution? Gentle, daily movement. Here's what helps. Walking. Just 10-15 minutes can reactivate muscles and refresh your whole system. Core breathing. Inhale, let your belly expand. Exhale, gently pull your belly toward your spine. This simple motion awakens your core. Chair exercises. Can't stand long? Lift your legs while seated, twist side to side, stretch your arms. Every motion counts. The goal isn't a six-pack or marathon medal. It's staying functional, being able to move through your day with confidence, balance, and dignity. Daily movement also improves mood, sleep, digestion, and overall quality of life. But most importantly for aging, adult sit supports bladder control. Start small. Stand up and sit down more often. March in place while brushing your teeth. Stretch while the kettle boils. Every move is a message to your body. You still matter. Donna returned to her walk slowly, then steadily. One day, she said, "I feel like I belong in my body again." That's the true power of movement. It's not about chasing youth. It's about showing up for yourself with presence, grace, and care. And it starts with one simple step. Today, Part 6, Eating Foods that Irritate the Bladder and How to Spot Them. Have you ever had one of those days where your bladder just won't behave? You didn't drink too much. You didn't skip your exercises. But somehow, you're running to the bathroom more than usual, and every trip feels a bit more urgent. What if I told you it might be something you ate? Yes, truly. Food can be a hidden trigger. And for people dealing with overactive bladders, leakage, or urgency, knowing which foods to avoid or at least limit can make a world of difference. Let's talk about the usual suspects first. 1. Spicy foods. They may light up your taste buds, but they can also light up your bladder. Hot peppers, salsa, curry, anything that brings the heat can cause inflammation in the bladder lining. That inflammation can make the bladder more sensitive, more reactive, and more likely to scream for attention before it's really full. 2. Citrus fruits. Oranges, grapefruits, lemons. Lime's delicious and full of vitamin C, yes, but also very acidic. That acid can irritate the inner wall of the bladder, making it feel like you need to go, even if you don't. 3. Artificial sweeteners. Found in many diet products, especially diet sodas, sugar-free gums, and low-cal snacks. These sweeteners, like aspartame or sucralose, can be sneaky little troublemakers. They confuse the bladder and disrupt nerve signals, which may lead to urgency and even accidents. 4. Carbonated drinks. Whether it's soda water, cola, or that fizzy-flavored beverage, it's not just the caffeine that's the problem. The bubbles themselves can irritate the bladder and contribute to bloating, pressure, and discomfort. Now, I'm not saying you have to cut all of these out forever, but here's the key. Start paying attention. Your bladder might be whispering clues, you just need to start listening. I recommend keeping a simple bladder-friendly food journal. Nothing fancy. Just grab a notebook or open a note on your phone. Write down what you eat and drink each day and also how your bladder behaves. Did you feel more urgency? More leaks? Did a certain meal leave you running for the restroom? Over time, you might notice patterns. Maybe it's that tomato-based pasta sauce at dinner, or that chocolate bar before bed, or that fizzy lemon drink you've always loved, but never suspected. Knowledge is power, and awareness is the first step toward freedom. I once worked with a gentleman named Frank, mid-70s, proud Italian cook. Loved his spicy marinara and morning orange juice, but his bladder? Not so much. We worked through his journal, meal by meal. It turned out his heartburn days were also his 5 trips to the bathroom in an hour days. When he swapped his acidic tomato sauce for a gentler cream-based version and saved orange juice, for special weekends, things started to calm down. So did his bladder. And you know what? He didn't feel like he was losing anything. He felt like he was getting control back. This isn't about guilt. It's not about making food the enemy. It's about learning to partner with your body. And every body is different. What bothers your neighbor might not bother you. That's why your journal becomes your personal roadmap, your way of unlocking what your bladder needs. Think of it like detective work, with your well-being as the prize. So today, I invite you to try this. Pick one food or drink you're suspicious about. Cut it out for 3 to 5 days. See how you feel. Then, reintroduce it. Watch what happens. Your body is always talking to you. Maybe now's the time to listen just a little closer. Part 7. Holding it in too long and what it does to your bladder. Let's be honest though, many times have you felt the urge to pee, but told yourself, just a bit longer. I'll go after this show ends. I don't want to get up again. It seems harmless, right? You're not in pain, just a little uncomfortable. You've held it before you can hold it again. But here's the hidden cost of that habit. Your bladder doesn't forget. The bladder is a muscle. Like any muscle, it stretches and it contracts. But just like a balloon that gets overinflated too often, if you keep forcing your bladder to hold more than it should, it starts to lose its shape and its strength. Over time, that stretching dulls the nerves inside your bladder. It starts sending weaker signals to your brain. You might not feel the urge until it's urgent. Or worse, you might feel no urge at all, and suddenly, there's leakage. I once worked with a retired librarian named Helen. She had spent years holding it in because she hated using public restrooms. Hated them. She told me, I used to teach myself to wait until I got home. It felt like a small victory. But decades of that victory took a toll. By the time she was in her late 60s, she found herself dribbling even before the urge kicked in. Her bladder had lost its bounce, its rhythm. What helped her? Something so simple. A schedule. She started going to the bathroom every 2 to 4 hours, even if she didn't feel the urge. She trained her body again just like we train dogs or toddlers. Gently, kindly, consistently. Within weeks, she noticed improvement. More control, fewer surprises, and a sense of trust in her body she hadn't felt in years. Here's what I want you to remember. Don't wait for the panic signal. Go before it's an emergency. Treat your bladder with respect. It's trying its best for you. And if you're worried about not being able to go every few hours, that's something to talk about too. Which brings us to the final part of our journey. Part 8. Not talking to your doctor and missing the help you deserve. If there's one thing I've learned in all my years working with older adults, it's this. Silence can be more dangerous than symptoms. Bladder issues are so common, and yet they're also so quietly suffered. Why? Because it's embarrassing. Because we've been told it's just part of aging. Because we're afraid we'll be laughed off, or worse, handed a diaper and sent on our way. But let me tell you something loud and clear. Your bladder is not a punchline, and neither is your comfort, your independence, or your dignity. Doctors don't roll their eyes when you bring up bladder control. They lean in. They listen. Because what seems like a small annoyance to you might actually point to something treatable. In fact, in many cases, urinary issues in older adults are caused by hormonal changes, especially around menopause or prostate shifts. Side effects of medication 7, common ones for blood pressure or depression. Infections, which can be subtle but powerful disruptors. Or underlying conditions like diabetes, nerve damage, or pelvic floor dysfunction. And the beautiful thing is there are solutions. From lifestyle tweaks, to bladder retraining, to pelvic therapy, to gentle medications that actually work. But none of them can help you if you don't speak up. I met a gentleman named Carlbig, proud, old school, tough guy. He had been waking up 6, 7 times a night to pee. Exhausted, irritable. He didn't say a word to his doctor for 2 years. Finally, his wife pushed him to bring it up. Turns out it was a prostate issue. With a simple medication change and a few behavior shifts, his nights became peaceful again. And Carl? He said, "I wish I hadn't waited." So let me ask you this. Are you waiting? Waiting for it to get worse? Waiting for someone to ask you first? You deserve better than that. You deserve a conversation. Not because you're broken, but because you're worth the effort to feel better. Make that appointment. Write down your symptoms and walk in knowing that you are advocating for your own freedom. Bladder problems aren't your fault, but staying silent? That's a battle you don't have to fight alone. Part 9. Take back control. Let's take a moment, just you and me. Because if you've made it this far, that means you care not just about your bladder, but about your freedom, your dignity, and the life you deserve to live. Urinary leakage isn't just a nuisance. It's a quiet thief of confidence, of spontaneity, of joy. It can make even the strongest woman hesitate before going out. It can make a man avoid long car rides or pass up dinner with old friends. And that's not just a bladder problem. That's a life problem. But here's what no one tells you. You are not powerless. You are not broken. And you are definitely not alone. Across the world, millions of older adults are silently struggling with this exact thing. But the silence doesn't have to last. Because the truth is, small changes create big shifts. Start with a glass of water. Start with 5 quiet kegels before bed. Start by making that doctor's appointment you've been putting off. Start by believing that your body can improve at any age. I've seen it happen again and again. One small decision becomes 2. Confidence returns. Laughter gets louder. Life opens back up. You can go to that family barbecue without scouting the nearest restroom. You can laugh freely, sneeze without fear, dance without second thoughts. You can reclaim your control. And guess what? We're right here with you. At Elderly Active Living, we're building a space of strength, knowledge, and compassion for people just like you. If this video helped you, share it with a friend. Follow the channel so you never miss an episode. And drop a comment, we read every single one. You're not invisible. You're not past your prime. You're growing into a wiser, stronger version of yourself. Let's walk that path together. Subscribe, share, stay strong. This is Elderly Active Living and we believe in your comeback.